Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the fifth venture of the Super Smash Bros. Series. The series is recognized for how simple it is compared to other fighters, and for the crossovers it's had with many Nintendo games and video games as a whole, with Ultimate being the biggest example of this. One of the best aspects of the game, for me at least, is the characters included, specifically how they're represented. The best way to represent a character is to have them feel as they do in their game. And today, I would like to talk about the top 10 best represented characters in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Incineroar is the final stage of the Fire Starter from Pokemon Sun and Moon, the 7th generation of the series. In Super Smash Bros., he plays up this wrestling persona, which does exist for the character. Moves such as his side special throw opponents to the rings of a wrestling ring, say, and he's a heavy hitter. With each attack, he taunts afterwards. That's great to represent a wrestler, but Incineroar as a Pokemon? He doesn't reference much in terms of Pokemon. The closest thing to that is his neutral special being Darkest Lariat, I think, and his final smash, Malicious Moonsault, being moves from Sun and Moon. Aside from that, I don't think they're moves from Pokemon, and that's why he could be better. Yeah. Number 9, Hero. Hero comes from the Dragon Quest series. Not just one of the games, but many of them. Such as 11, 8, 3, 4, I think. In Super Smash Bros., he has many moves in his arsenal. Whether that be his down special, which does have many moves and changes with each use of it, or his other specials, which change depending on how much you charge it. And I think that's a great way to represent him, because it can be argued that it represents the different levels of an attack. A single press of the attack, let's say neutral special, is going to be weak, but when you charge it up fully, it's going to be strong. And in RPGs in general, when you get better, you get experience, and that makes your moves stronger. But what I don't like about the character is the randomness. What I don't like about the character is the randomness. His down special changes with each activation. And I think that's a good idea. It shows off the many spells of the character. But I think the character is too random. You can have the down special be something like it, but you just have like 4 spells for each battle. And those 4 moves, they're random. You keep that throughout the whole fight, and it changes between fights. I think that would be a better idea. Just cut the randomness out of him. Number 8, Wolf from the Star Fox series. In his games, he's the antagonist to the Star Fox crew, even having his own crew named Star Wolf. And their motive is to stop Star Fox. In Super Smash Bros., I would say that's still his goal. In the games, in Star Fox, he's still very much like Fox. They're both in R-Wings, and just their goals are different, or how they fight. And I feel Wolf does the same thing, with like his neutral special being the best. With like his neutral special, up special, and side special being great examples of it. Having like different shapes, effects compared to Fox and Falco. But what I don't like about him is he's based off of Fox, and that's fine. But Fox, I feel, could be, and Fox is based off of the R-Wing gameplay of Star Fox, and I don't think it's a good representation of that gameplay. It could be better. And so because of Wolf being the same thing as Fox, he suffers the same issues. And so he's good right now, but he can better represent the R-Wing gameplay of Star Fox. Number 7, Mega Man. Mega Man comes from the aptly named Mega Man series. In those games, once he defeats the Robot Masters, the boss battles of those games, he gains their ability, or at least the ability based off of them. And that's what his appearance in Smash Bros. Is all about. All of his moves, he has a lot of moves from many of his he has many moves from his boss abilities, his Robot Master abilities. And I think that's a good idea. In the Mega Man games, you get a large arsenal of weapons whenever you defeat the 8 Robot Masters. And sometimes you can even get more than that. And that's like the best way to represent them. But in the Mega Man games, you have a decision of when or what weapons to use. That's not present in Smash Bros. It's always one move, always. Unlike Hero's randomness with the sound special. I feel a decision aspect to his specials could be used so he can be better represented, and you can even include more references, you know?
Hmm. 一体何を? 敵を知ることこそ勝利への近道だからな。ショータイム。
Number 6, Solid Snake. Solid Snake comes from the Metal Gear Solid series, and those games are about being tactical and having a strategy to your moves, not being willy-nilly as you can be in Super Smash Bros. And in Smash Bros., I feel he retains that, the strategy aspect. His side special, the Nikita, is movable while still active, so if you miss an attack, you can think like, oh, I can go back around. And with like his down special, the C4, you decide when the attack should go off. And so there's a lot of consideration for the character. But for some of his moves, most specifically his forward air, he can be strong. And I don't think that's a good idea for the character. Because if you just try to beat up an enemy in his games, I think, you won't get far. You have to be tactical. You have to get him to a weak point. You have to get them to a weak point and then damage them. And that can still bring true for Smash Brothers, but I feel if Solid Snake was weaker, he could be better in terms of representation. Number 5, Kirby. Kirby is like the predecessor to Super Smash Brothers, with Superstar Ultra being the best example of this. In his games, he can get many abilities from any of the enemies he inhales, and each offer a different moveset. And Super Smash Bros. Does that. He's very much like Mega Man. He includes many references to many of the abilities he can have. And he keeps the basicness of the Kirby games. So why don't I like him? Why is he only number 5? I feel some of the moves he references, he takes liberty. There's liberties taken, like his up special. I feel it's referencing the sword ability. But there's no real vertical move with the sword, as it appears in Super Smash Bros. That's a liberty taken with a move. I don't like that. I want things to be directly referenced. If not, no, I just want them directly referenced. And there are moves that could work as an up special, especially nowadays, with like the Veto ability being a great example. He is like the most basic fighter alongside Mario, but he could be a little better. Number 4, Pokemon Trainer. The Pokemon Trainer is a 3-in-1 character. So he has 3 movesets to him, those being Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard. As a whole, them working together, I really love it. Each of them represent a different part or level of Pokemon. Squirtle being the weak part, but being a fast character. You wouldn't use him to like really kill moves. You use him to like get little damage in. It's the middle stage where he has some good things about him to the same level as Charizard, or weak parts of him like Squirtle. He's the transitional phase for Pokemon. And Charizard, he's meant to be the big strong guy, the final stage of all Pokemon. And that's great. That's a great idea. It represents the different levels of a Pokemon and the different strengths you can have when leveling up. But that doesn't mean I love it entirely. Some moves of some of the characters I feel could be either stronger or weaker. Like, what's a good example? Charizard's neutral air. He just spins in a circle, hitting with his tail or the fire from his tail. That's fine as an aerial. That's a really good aerial. But he's meant to be the strong guy, and that move is weak. So that sort of brings him down. And I don't think that should be the case. The Pokemon Trainer, that I mean by the Pokemon with the character, is really great. Just a little off. Number 3, Simon and/or Richter Belmont. Simon and Richter come from the famed Castlevania series. In those games, you have to be considerate with your moves. It is not as free as like the Mario games, for example, though the two are very alike, both being platformers. In Super Smash Bros., the consideration of the series is still maintained, where you can't just throw out attacks. There's end lag with them, and you have to endure that end lag before you can go on to another attack. But the two were introduced during the same time, in Ultimate and in the same Direct. Richter is an Echo Fighter clone of Simon Belmont, and I feel because they both came out at the same time, they each use moves from one another. Specifically their down tilt. The down tilt is a move from Richter, actually. Yeah. And I can see Richter doing it, but Simon Belmont, he seems like an older character. He has a barbarian skin and looks older compared to Richter. And to see him move so flexibly is quite off-putting and odd to see. That's why I don't really like him. His moves are very good. Don't get me wrong. They're very, very good. But they're not all from Simon. They share between each other, and I don't think that should be the case. Here are some characters that just didn't make the cut, and so are just honorable mentions. Number 2, King Krowol. King Krowol is the main antagonist of the King Krowol is the main antagonist of the Donkey Kong Country series. Those games are platformers, very much like Mario, but unlike Mario. Unlike Mario's games, they're very tough, and the boss fights are evident of this. And they're evidence of this. And in Smash Brothers, this especially rings true. Most of his moves, well, like his specials, for example, are like directly as they appeared in those games, and that's great. I love that. It represents the character very well with references, direct. The character is represented very well, but some moves do take liberties. Some moves are like Donkey Kong's, and that's absolutely fine. And I really like that. The two are opposing one another. But I feel like one move of his is silly. It really brings him down from the commanding Kremlin King to a goofball, and that be his up smash. The move isn't terrible, but I just don't like it. And that's very much why he's only number 2, though 1 and 2, the characters in the first and second place are not far off. Piranha Plant from the Super Mario Bros. Series. In those games, he's a very minor enemy. He just comes out of a pipe and occasionally spits out a fireball. But he still got in the Smash Brothers. And still retains that mentality, where he can just appear randomly and shoot out stuff at random if you're not considerate. And that's great. That's how he is. And he makes references, both direct. No. He does make the references, and some of his moves are original, but still feel right to the character. I don't really have anything bad to say about the character. It's just really great. His side special hides him from other players seeing from his side special hides the attacks he's gonna do or planned on doing. His down special shoots him out and can be random. Like, you don't know when he's going to attack, and his neutral special spits something out. Very much like him shooting out a fireball, which you don't know when you're going to get hit or when he's going to throw it either left or right. The character is just great. That's all I can really say about him. Nothing to complain about here. Just because some characters have issues doesn't mean they're a bad fighter. What I like about the Smash Brothers fighters is they represent who they are in their games. Yeah, that's why I like them, and they make references to their games. And that's what I want out of a fighter. They make references, represent them well, and if they can't make many references, they at least have a basis for the attack to make it seem like I can see the character doing that. That's what I love about Smash Brothers. And And just because some characters don't make the cut, like Smash 64, they don't make the cut, I get the idea behind them, and they're still incredibly designed. Just like these 10 characters on this list.